Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm getting better about being on time. We're gonna call this a win. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on right now, but we're gonna see. So, I don't know what's going on. We're gonna see. Okay. I'm trying to see what is going on. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Okay. So I'm on time. Like, holy crap. Like, wow. Awesome sauce. I've been trying this new thing where I try to write the copy like basically as soon as I get home from the day job. And that way it's ready. Ideally, I would write the copy for the afternoon and the morning. But, you know, a lot of things would work ideally if I did them earlier. So it just doesn't work out that way. I always mean for it to, and then something happens. So I've been trying to stay on top of this so that I can be here at 7, like when I say I'm going to be. Because I can be here at 7. Like, I'm home at 7. I'm able to stream at 7. It is just a matter of will I actually get on time? That's the real question. So, here we are, getting on these socks. This is round 47. I think I have to get to 62, which I'm not going to get to 62 tonight. I can tell you that. I mean, I guess I could if I just didn't stop knitting, but like, I have books that want to be read, so sorry. I also have work to do. I really need to get back to my my schedule. But pretty much I'd rather be reading. That's the answer, is I'd rather be reading. And if we had to pit knitting against reading, oh, that'd like be a battle royale. Like, seriously. That would be a hard, that's a hard decision right there. So today is Thursday. I know that it says I'm going to be here at 9. I'm obviously not going to be here at 9. I think I'm actually going to, let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Okay. Because I just realized this is, you're expecting me like way later than I'm gonna be. Oh, whoops. Yeah. I haven't been going to knit night lately. Mostly because I don't want to use up my gas to go. I know that sounds like ridiculous. Also, it starts at 6. And that theoretically means I wouldn't go to the gym, and that's not going to work. Like, at all. So... Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I guess I can't change it right now. Maybe I can. I don't know. I'm trying to change my schedule because I just spaced on the fact that it's Thursday. So, the project time poll went up. It went up, I think, a day late. Um, it was supposed to go up sooner. That didn't happen. You know, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You may update your username. Ooh. I don't know if I want to update my username. I thought about changing it. In my byline it says just call me Ray. I don't know. So, I don't know. It reminds me. Oh, God, I'm gonna check my like updates and my links and everything. So, yeah, so I changed my TikTok. It's just call me Ray. And that's just because nobody can say Aradia and nobody can say Nawari. And most people can't say Nawari. I've seen, I've there's a handful of people who say Aradia. Some say Aradia, and I don't know why. No idea why. These are never in context where I have pronounced it for them. So now, I can tell you though, for a fact, that pronouncing your name for someone does not, in fact, mean they will pronounce it correctly. Because I've lived my entire life correcting people and like phonetically sounding out my name before people tried to say it and they still managed to muck it up. And it's just like, what? And it's like, yup. So, yeah. That's just how it is. So I actually ended up changing my name, my actual given name. So now it's taken name, I guess. Um, I changed it to something that I felt worked for me. I had been going by Lainey for years. That was after Lainey Boggs because I actually liked She's All That when I saw it the first time. Don't fucking at me. I don't want to hear it. And, you know, nerdy, quirky, weird art human, which is me, right? And I had short, dark hair. And when I was in high school, I was like string bean. So, only more boobs than. I don't know that actress's name is. Anyway, I think it might be Rachel Leigh Cook. Anyway. So. Lainey just got to the point where it felt. It didn't feel right. Like, it didn't feel like me anymore. And let me just clarify, Lainey has never been my actual name. Okay? Ever. So, you're not getting some deep, dark secret with that admission. Actually, I hate my given name because I was named after a family member I didn't like. In fact, for the most part, nobody liked her. And all I could think was, thanks. Thanks a lot, Mom. Appreciate it. And look, she didn't name me directly after her. Like, I didn't have her exact name. That I think if that had been the case, I would have changed my name way sooner than I did. But at the end of my second divorce, I decided that was a great time to not reinvent myself, but you know, now's as good as time as any to start over, right? So, what the fluff? Um, so that why not? Fucking why not? Why not? So I guess the real, real goal. I don't know what I was going with that. Never mind. My brain stopped. Oh no, I got it now. Oh, it came back. I think the realistic weekly goal is to stream every day. We'll start there. I've been doing pretty good. I do need to walnuts. Catch up on my downloads of videos that I've made. I know I need to do that soon. I still haven't gotten into a habit with that, which is terrible. I might do it this weekend. No, that's probably going to be too late, actually, for some of them. Yeah, I don't like doing it like once a week because that seems to be waiting too long. And then what happens is the chances that I'm going to miss a video is like really high, and I don't want that. So I did manage to get to the gym today. It was hellish. I hated it, as one would expect. It's like my least favorite activity. Like right on the pile of things I don't want to do is that. It's that. But I got in today, so yay. Go me. Going to the gym is difficult. I also put gas in my car today, which was, it's still horrendous. Gas is $4.25. I think that's the highest I've seen it go, and I kind of want to gag. I managed to get 40 cents off of my gas, like each gallon. So I managed to not pay that much, but oh my flippin' god. Like, what? Like, what? I drank my latte on the way to the gym. We've already talked about that. Waiting until after the gym to start drinking my latte is not a good time. Why? Because it's not. Because the day is like officially almost over, and I absolutely positively do not want to do anything that's going to keep me up any later. I mean, facts, if I stay up late reading, that's cool. I just shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that because it's gonna taste like regret the next morning when I have to get up at 6 and I really don't want to. So probably shouldn't do that. That doesn't mean that I don't. It just means that I shouldn't. So yeah. I think I've been here like think I've managed to be here every day that I've meant to. So that's pretty good. Yeah, I also have this Twitch like growth plan that I'm supposed to be mapping out. I haven't, by the way. I have not. Shame, shame, shame on me. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, oh, I don't fucking know. Here's what I should do. Here's what we're gonna do. Wow, that's weird. Let's see. So don't mind me. Don't mind me. Okay, there we go. So I got to schedule. Sweets. I figured out how I needed to get there. Edit schedule. I know, I'm the worst. You're supposed to be knitting. I know. Working on it. Okay, so every Monday. So we're gonna just make everything. Save changes. Okay, cool. So Bidjas. Let's see. Okay, we need to open our videos and see where we are. So I think here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to stream for 2 hours today. I don't think I'm going to. I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know, I might. No, I don't want to. What I might do is game instead. So that might happen. I don't know though. Don't quote me on that. Like, I'm the worst. I know. I'm kind of the worst right now. I get it. I understand. I'm trying to see where we are with stuff. Okay, so trying to get a little work done. Chill and chat. I'm pretty sure I've done that one. Okay, so finally a change of pace. Okay, we've got that one. Let's try this again. Okay, so let's try this again is the first one that I need to do. Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure I don't I'm trying to make sure I don't forget to download stuff. Like the let's try this again is going to expire in 5 days. And then finally where I ought to be is going to also expire in 5 days. But I need to make sure that I am keeping track of stuff. I'm doing a real shit job. I had a big talk with wife about stuff today. And she was like, I don't know how you do it. Everybody says that to me. I don't know how you do it. What do you mean you don't know how I do it? What? Okay, listen. I do things just like everybody else does, right? Fucking one step at a time, okay? It's not some magic formula. I mean, I do magic. That's a thing. But like, I'm not doing anything spectacular or miraculous or like amazing or just like unbelievable, okay? That's it. Let's see. I'm not sure. We're gonna start with 1 hour. Save changes. Okay, fine, whatever. We did it. We did it. We did it. Yay. Okay. Lurky Lou, sorry. Hi. Oh my God, what is going on here? No, 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 no. I finally heard all of that sound from TikTok. Made You Look, who is a streamer and does freaking makeup looks that are super cool, like special effects makeup and stuff like that. She did a zombie makeup. It was part of her alphabet, and it was, I think, I is for infected. It was fucking great. I was like, yes, excellent. Because I'm weird and I like stuff like that. Vampires used to be my favorite movie monster. I think zombies have supplanted them. Even though in practice, I would much rather deal with a vampire than a zombie. Yeah. Although I guess it really depends on what kind of zombies are we talking about. Like, there's lots of kinds of zombies. So, like, am I going to be the zombie that still tries to knit? Because I think I could be okay with that. Now, if I lived forever because I was a vampire, I could also knit forever. And since there's like whole time periods where I would possibly not be out and about, more time to knit, right? Like, and I've got an extensive stash right now, so I think I could absolutely like take up, a lifetime getting through my stash. My sock stash alone. I don't even know what the count is right now. I can look it up actually. Have I updated my sock stash? I don't know. I think it's in the neighborhood of somewhere between 30 and 50. I'm sure it's more than 30. I don't rightly know though, now that I think about it. So, I don't know. I don't freaking know. But I can actually look it up and then I can fucking tell you. Instead of just gabbing about it. Like I know what I'm talking about. Whatever. Yeah. I think of all the stash, like my worsted stash is pretty extensive. Okay. I think my worsted stash is going to beat the sock stash. But the sock stash is really holding its own. I got to be honest with you. Yeah. So. Don't look at me like that, dog. She's looking at me in that tone of voice. I said that to Juice before I left work. I'm on the phone with wife. Gumby laughed. He's like, what? I'm like, don't look at me in that tone of voice. Hey, get down. No. Like, no. And she's like, big stretch. Big stretch. Big stretch. What are you doing? What are you doing, Noodle? You're a brat. She's a brat. Okay, stop. Okay, you need to back up. Like, I'm trying to do stuff. And she's like, no, I must insert myself into whatever you're doing because I am a baby. Is it that TikTok sound? I'm just a baby. Yeah, that's fucking Adelaide. Will you stop? You're knocking stuff over. I don't like it. She's like, I don't care. She probably doesn't care. Actually, that's not true. She probably cares a little bit, and only because when she knocks stuff over, it startles her, and she's still got, like, I don't know, weird hang-ups about it from the cat. Like, the cat totally kind of traumatized the dog. It was awful. She got to the point where you could not get her to go through a doorway. And it was like, what? Okay, so this set, oh God, wow. Hold on, let's do some math, because math is hard. Mm, 82 skeins of sock yarn. That's not quite what I was expecting. Now, of my yarn stash right now, which I don't think is up to date, but it may be up to date, it's 572. Now I want to be a nerd and try to figure out what percentage of my stash is what. That's fucking ridiculous, people. Okay, that is an unnecessary amount of math. Nobody needs to fucking know that. I don't need to know that, but I kind of want to know now because I have this weird liking for knowing statistics and percentiles. Like, what? Did not this? I like data. I don't know. Anything I can use to predict things, I tend to like. It's probably why I like statistics because you can predict trends with it, and prediction, mundane and otherwise, is something of interest to me. So speaking of predictions, I don't call myself a fortune teller because I don't love the verbiage and I don't think it's really an accurate depiction of what I do. I actually looked up a bunch of words related to divination: seer, sibyl, oracle. Um, and I gotta tell you, I didn't like any of the definitions and none of them seemed to fit. Personally, I elucidate things is what I do. I do love that word. That's one of my favorite words. I make things clear. Like, if you're going to go down this path and follow this line of thought, this line of action, this is probably where you're going to end up. Now, sure, theoretically, you could just do that with you have enough information, you can absolutely just do that, right? Like, there are things that are just statistically likely to happen, right? If you don't pay attention when you cross the road, it's statistically likely that you will get hit one day. That's a given, right? But I'm talking about predicting things with far less information than that. So I had someone ask me that they asked like a group of people, and I guess they didn't have a whole lot of people weigh in. And I don't Facebook anymore. Like, I have one, I just don't use it. And when I do use it, it's strictly for work. So it's my Facebook page, not my profile. Anyway, fellow art human posted there. They had something that they were considering selling, and they weren't sure the best way to go for it. Now, I gave two opinions. I gave a practical, personal opinion, just like if you asked me as a human, this is what I would say. And then I said, I did a do-don't. Like, and the option was to sell it outright or to auction it off. And I got a real clear answer of yes, auction it off. So they were going to make $200 if they just sold it outright because they had somebody offer. Instead, they made $900 because they auctioned it off. I gotta say, I think that was the right choice. I think that was the right choice. Definitely was the right choice. Now, they could have, if they just didn't want to wait, could have guaranteed got the $200. Now, my full opinion actually was that, look, because you have somebody who's offered, let them know, hey, if you're okay with this, I'm gonna hold an auction, and I'm gonna give it 2 weeks. And it would have been, $200 the best offer. That's generally how that would be worded. But my thing with it is like, since you had somebody who's directly interested and, they came to you and said, yeah, I want this thing. It's courtesy to say, hey, look, just by the way, instead of like saying it and, or like doing it, or just like ignoring them, right, for 2 weeks and not saying anything. Like, that would be shitty. Okay, like, really. But I'm also not a huge fan of giving anybody information that I don't really think that they need, right? Or it's not relevant, or I just don't want them to have, like, about me. So I can understand wanting to play things close to the vest and not, but being that this was a business transaction and they expressed interest, yeah, no, it's fair to say, hey, look, I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Now the thing with it is also, let's just say the person was willing to pay more. If they entered the auction, you could just get more anyway, right? So, like, period. Now, this person needs the money, so I was like, I understand wanting to go with a sure thing, right? You know that this person's offering you this amount of money. But I gotta say, I gotta say. Now, the only other thing was, what they were auctioning off was, like, this rare limited thing, right? And me, if it was me, I do become sentimental and attached to certain things, and I would have a hard time even being offered $1,000 for something, parting with it. Like, if it was really meaningful to me. That said, I have totally sold things, like, outright that, like, I really liked and I was happy I bought and I really wanted to do more with, but I just found at some point that I hadn't done as much with it as I wanted to. And yeah, a case in point, we're talking about my electric acoustic mandolin, by the way. Yes, I had an electric acoustic mandolin, which I thought was the coolest thing because it was. I never learned to play, so, like, a whole lot of good it did me to even, like, have it. But yeah. I think I found someone who was like, who heard I had one. It was like somebody that I met or whatever, came across because of, like, somebody else, right? And they were like, "Oh my gosh, what do you want from it?" And I was just thinking, bill money. This is my answer, which is terrible. I think I took apart and sold my wedding ring to pay a bill. I think, too, that happened. Now, that was fine. I wasn't going to do anything with that. Like, I was divorced, so there was absolutely no reason for me to keep that. Duh. So, the funny thing is, I sold it to the person they got it from. Like, they went back to the jeweler. And I was like, that's fine. Like, I had no use for it. It was, this is funny. It was in my glove box, in the box that it came in. So, personal stories about me. I've been married twice, right? My second divorce was finalized, like, over a year ago, whatever. Not this past December that just happened, but the December before that. Well, anyway, I was married once before. It's like, I think I just turned 21. Not just turned 21. I mean, I got married in December. And I turned 21 in July. So, like, of the same year. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with this. My brain ate my storyline. Somebody got notes on this? Anyway. Oh, I remember. Okay, so I was in the military too. Like, wow. Like, wow. Like, wow. So many things about me. Anywho's it. I remember when I decided, and this is why I'm really careful what I say. And I feel like this is like some witch business and, like, action. So I was having some really awful fucking conversations with the husband of the time, right? Like, I was starting to dread communicating with him. because he was just being fucking awful, right? And I looked at Car and said to her, I was like, you know, if this keeps up, I'm getting divorced. That was in like the springtime. By fall of that year, yeah. So this is how it happened. I got a message from him telling me he wanted to get back with his baby mama, who I don't know that they had been together recently, like as in before we started dating. Much less, you know, married, because like there was like no engagement to speak of, by the way. I don't know, but at the point that he said that to me, I was like, I was sitting in I was living with a coworker and her husband, and it was, you know, crashing in the room. This is when I lived with a rabbit. That was a very unpleasant experience, by the way. Anyway, I looked at, I was sitting in the living room, looked at my laptop, read what he said to me, and stopped what I was doing, took my wedding ring off my finger, and promptly put it in the box, and at some point put it in my car. Like, I distinctly remember doing those things. Remember where I was, and yeah. So, thought that was fucking hilarious. Well, this is a lesson in being really careful what you say. Like, I try not to say things that I don't want to happen, or that I'm like not going to be okay with happening. Like, sure, something that's going to happen. There's a degree of like fate in there. Like, there's some. I don't think everything is predestined, right? Because what is the point of free will if everything is predestined, right? So personally, things you didn't realize you were going to get in the stream. Personally, what I think of is like there's certain things that are set in stone, right? You're going to die. Okay. When, how, where, and under what circumstances are in flux. So to me, every choice you make alters and shapes, you know, your destiny. From the little things that happen between like now and a week from now, a month, a year, a decade from now, to like ultimately the end of your life, right? And there are going to be, as you go through these things, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure, right? Eventually, you're going to start running out of options. like there's certain things that are gonna become inevitable. Like, you may take longer or shorter time periods to get to certain things, right, because of decisions you made. But essentially, you're gonna get to the same point. Like, that's what's gonna happen. And so like little things get altered, like, you know, and sometimes those decisions that you make that alter your fate, or the like just the pathway your life is taking, sometimes they're itty-bitty things, sometimes they're major things, like deciding to take a different route, and then you know, meets your future spouse, right? You know, or deciding to take a job versus another job, deciding to move, like, obviously there's a bunch of little things that are going to change, but there can sometimes be big things that are going to change as a result, and you never know. Like, you never know. Oh, another funny story is friend John. So it's funny. Friend has a friend John, and I have a friend John. They're not the same John. So friend John, well, I was working as a dancer of an adult variety. Spicy gymnast, I've heard it called. I like that one. That one's funny. Well, while I was working as a spicy gymnast, I had a friend. We became friends, basically. He would come in with a bunch of his buddies before on their poker night, drink cheap beer during happy hour, hang out and bullshit with the girls, and then leave. Right? They never tipped much. They sat away from the stage. It wasn't, you know, it was fine. And so, like, if you wanted to just like hang out, shoot the shit, you went and sat at the booth with them. And I ended up being friends with this guy named John. So John, at one point, asks me, I guess he was wrestling with this decision, and I don't know why the hell he asked me. I don't think, honestly, that we're still speaking. Like, we're still friends on Facebook, but every time I like reach out to say hi, he doesn't say anything to me. So I don't know if he just doesn't want to speak to me or what. But I figured if he was done being friends with me, he would take action, and he hasn't. So I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Although I haven't actually looked on Facebook, so I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. He basically asked me if he should move across the country to try and have a relationship with someone. That I was like, first of all, I am not the person to ask. I am shit at relationships. I am not doing too good. I can tell you what not to do. But as far as telling you what you probably should do or what would be wise or what would work out, yeah, I don't know. Now, could I have like divined on this? Oh yeah, absolutely. Did I even think to do that? Oh no. Right? Because I did not delve delve into that part of my persona at work. Right? It's like I don't do it now. Anyway, so I said, well, and this was like purely practical, like as practical as I guess was reasonable for the situation. I was like, well, look, you're never gonna know until you try. And personally, and this is my philosophy, I'll tell you what, this has been my philosophy of life. You'll never know what's gonna happen until you try. So, you might as well. Now, my practical advice with this is don't burn your bridges before you leave, right? So if you have to come back because things don't work out, like don't say fuck you to your boss and like leave your lease on bad terms or like completely burn bridges with people here if you have to come back, right? Because that's just a practical thing, and let's maybe not do that because that's just silly, right? Um, but why not? So my thing is, this is my philosophy is, I would rather regret the things I did than wonder about the things I didn't. Because not knowing what could have happened will drive me up a fucking wall. So here's why we're doing story time. We haven't done story time in so long. Okay, so here's why that's the thing. When I was small, like, you know, I don't know, second, third grade, right? One of my first crushes, I had a crush on like the boy in class that everybody did because, I am a basic bitch sometimes. Not often, but yeah. Till I came into my own, okay? Anyway, he was, and this is to my recollection, we're not saying it's even remotely accurate. He was blonde, he was blue eyed, his name was Travis. Now, I grew up in and around Wilmington, North Carolina. So at some point, we moved. And I'm not saying that like anything was going to happen at that age. Okay. Like for real. Right. Like, yeah, whatever. But I never got to talk to him about it or say, hey, I have this giant crush on you. And then like at that point, like I moved and I had no like contact with him. And so like, I don't know whether he would have laughed in my face. Right. Um, Whether he would have been like, oh, I like you too. Unlikely. Right. I've always been weird and socially awkward, and I am not the person anybody likes, and that's fine. Um, Although wife is convinced that she likes me, and I'm like, don't tell me that, because we have to work together. And while I can keep it together, I'm gonna like know that, and now I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be dissecting their reactions to like things I say, and like wondering, oh my god, is he taking that like some other way than what I mean? God, I hope not. Just because I'll feel vaguely bad. Um, yeah, I've actually been trying to like pretend I don't even like didn't even have that conversation with her. She was like, I think he does like you. And I'm like, I don't think you know what you're talking about. She's like, the way he is around you. And I was like, oh my God, you're just ruining my life. Stop it. So, because like that instance of not being able to tell someone that I had a crush on them was so low key traumatic for me, of missed opportunity, right? I vowed from then on that I would never like let something like that happen again. To the tune of I will just blurt things out sometimes. Now I gotta say, I'm not gonna recommend that as a way to live, okay? Like, you need to gird your loins if that's how you're gonna live, because you are gonna get some really unpleasant reactions from doing that. Now, if you look at it this way, right, it's all data, it's all information, and it's valuable. So you will also, from putting yourself out there and trying, you will probably learn a lot about yourself and your environment and other people. So if you have the wherewithal to deal with the amount of rejection you're probably going to run into, fucking go for it. But that's been like my maxim like my entire life as a result of like that one isolated incident, which is really funny. Now, did I always act on it? I mean, no. Right? There's definitely some things that I didn't say because I got an inkling that, ooh, this is a bad idea or this is not going to end well. Sometimes I got that inkling, you know, after I'd already done the thing and it was too late. Not a good time, by the way. Not a good time. It's a terrible time. That said, I think it served me more often than not. There's things that I've probably gotten to experience that I wouldn't have if I didn't take leaps of faith and chances and whatnot. So I think there's something to be said for that. But yeah, that's kind of like one of the things that informs my life and how I live it. And I think it's really fucking hilarious that me, of all people, who's extremely risk averse, by the way, would be willing to like take a leap of faith like that. It's just really funny. But that's one of those little known things about me. Like, if you don't get to know me, that's not something like that you'll come across because it's not wholly relevant like in the day to day. But it's definitely this fundamental like part of who I am as a person. Now, that said, there we go. So we just made it to 51 rounds. I'm going to like count to double check because that's just the right thing to do. Okay? It just is. I'm probably not going to count on camera because that's boring. But don't mind me. I'm on Ravelry because I'm a dork. And lottie-dottie, everybody. So, oh my god. Oh, guts. I hate that. Yeah. So Magic Loop is great, but this little boing that's happening over here is not great. I know. That sound effect was like super accurate. Super accurate. I think for anything springy, boing is the right sound, though, right? Isn't that right? I think it's the right sound. Okay, so that happens. I'm adding something to my queue because, sure, that's exactly what I should be doing with my time. Never. Oh, cool. It's been added to my favorites. Save changes. Hmm. So, oh my glob. I'm like slowly but surely um, closing windows because I opened a bunch and I don't need them. So, what this? I don't need that. There we go. Now we're nearing our hour. And soon we're going to wrap it up. Unless you vote for me to keep going. Which is, we'll let, it's one of the few times where we'll let the audience decide. I do have more knitting I can do before I take progress pictures of this. So, it's fine. Now, okay, so about this title. I've been working on this sock for, I don't know when. Let's see. Don't mind me just moving shit around, you know, so I only have one freaking hand knitting because yeah, we're irresponsible like that. Anyway, like, you just closed Ravelry, why are you opening it again? I'm like, well, it just so happens that I have a question and Ravelry has the answer because it's where my project information is. I've been working on this sock for way too long though. Like, I feel like I have and I haven't, right? It's, so we got the toe box, which is this up to this little yellow piece, right? And then this is the foot. Like, anatomy of the sock. That's what that is. And yeah. Anyway, you do the toe, you do the foot, you place the heel. I work 1 inch past where the heel is going to be before I add the afterthought. So, like, some people like do the afterthought as a true afterthought, and the afterthought means what you do is you take the space where you're going to put the heel and you put like waste yarn, that's what it's called there, and then you finish the rest of the sock, right? And then with yarn you have already set aside, and I think it usually comes to about 10 grams. With yarn usually set aside, you work the heel as the last thing. Now, I devised a better way, I think, to do this. Let's see when I start. Oh my god, I started the sock 2 years ago. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, it's definitely needs to be finished before 2 years is up. Holy shit. Yeah, August 28th, 2020. What the hell? That just tells you how often I put the sock down. So, like, when we consider how long I've actually been working on this sock, first of all, you can do a sock. I mean, if I knit like it was my job, and by that I mean if I just was like, whoa, holy shit, oh my god, whoa, like super gung ho about it, I could knit a sock in like in a work week, right? About, oh shit. Did you see this mistake? I pulled the wrong needle. Oops. I haven't done this terribly often, but I've done it often enough to be like, oh shit. Now, there's a couple of stitches that just came off of the needles, and I'll fix them when I do the next round. Okay. That's what'll happen. So, I'm not going to worry about that. This is like killer. I know. This was like nightmarish mistake. It's okay. It's not actually a big deal. It's actually a really easy fix. What I'll do is when I go and make the next like row, just fix it then. Now, what I can do though is I can actually fix it right now. We're gonna tink. Okay, is what we're gonna do. So tinking is, it's knit backwards, like literally. It's the word backwards, which is, I think, ingenious. Okay, like seriously. This is not usually how you tink, people. I don't know, I usually tink in the other direction. That's okay. Tink tink. Poor little tink tink. Okay, so what we're gonna do is because of the nature of this mistake, we're just going to work the stitches backwards. And by backwards, I mean I'm gonna unknit. That's what I'm gonna do, because it's not hard to fix this mistake. I feel like we need to. All right, there we go. Okay, there we go. Anyway, I don't know what the hell I was saying. I have no idea. That's awesome. I love it when the train of thought goes into the tunnel. It's great. All right, so as you were, first of all, let's just make sure that we're pulling the right side of the needle. Oh my gosh. Just like an update, just randomly. I know that I haven't talked about Bay lately, but such as the association is, we haven't been talking a lot, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, it could, or it could mean nothing at all. I've been trying to keep busy so I don't think about it, obsess about it, get upset about it, freak out about it, because those are bad things to do. And oh no! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We have a fallen comrade. Okay. This is becoming an ordeal. This is becoming. Okay. So, anyway. Let's see. Is this, what side of this is? Is it on the side? It is on the side. Oh, goodness. I had some real specific plans that I was going to follow through on that I don't think are actually going to happen now. Okay, so there we go. So, all right, I think we can fix this like this. because this stitch belongs on this side, on the back side, the back of the socks. Is that what you call it? Underfoot. Mr. Underhill. Oh my gosh. Baggins. Shire. Oh. Friend is missing, like this Lord of the Rings reference. Oh goodness. Okay, so we dropped 2 whole rows. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do that and do that, and that'll fix that. I made this, and I made this too. Woohoo! Oh my gosh. Okay. We're gonna try and we're gonna undo that last one because we got some weird splitting of this yarn that's going on that we want to fix. Okay, there we go. Okay, I don't know where actually this should go. We can count and tell. I thought it was supposed to go on this side, but now I'm not so sure. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so this is supposed to be on the front needle, by the way. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. First of all, we need it like this. And now, there we go. That's good. Okay. And, like, I'm sure of this. Oh, sugar snaps. Does it look like I'm sure of it? Because it doesn't fucking look like I'm sure of it from over here. No, I didn't work that stitch. Like, it fell enough that it didn't get worked too. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. This is, again, easy fixes. So, all right, first of all, let's do that. There we go. Okay, now we're good. That only took, what, 5 whole minutes to fix that? I don't fucking know. So, the cool thing about watching me stream is, one, you get to see all my mistakes. I think a lot of people see the end result and they're like, oh my god, that's amazing. I could never do that. And I'm like, do you know how many times I fucked this up? I did it a lot. And they're like, oh, it looks great. And I'm like, yeah, not if you can see all the mistakes I made. And depending on what the project for is, like if the project is for sale, which I do sell some of my work, not all of it, but some of it, those things I try really hard to make sure that they're just like they're supposed to be. If a mistake adds character and has purpose and is fine and is not going to compromise the design, okay, yeah, I might leave it. Now, if it's my stuff, I'm theoretically much more likely to just say fuck it and just let it be a thing. As long as it's not going to compromise the integrity of the fabric. That's really what I'm worried about. Like, if it's going to do that, then, yeah. So, my lovely lurky Lou. I don't mind people lurking. I have no problem. I lurk a lot. In fact, I usually hang out on streams like to talk with other people and the streamer mostly. And then the minute they start gaming, I actually usually leave, which sounds terrible. And that's just because watching people game is not really my thing. Now, meanwhile, I will totally watch somebody work on something. That I will do. And I do love me like a good unveiling. I watched somebody take some dice out of a mold. I've actually watched that a couple of times, and the videos, and I mean, it's never very long because it doesn't take so long to take dice out of a mold. But I'm like always curious as to, okay, what a big reveal. Oh my god, what are they gonna look like? I'm so excited. Yeah, I love dice. I mean, I really love the fun, exciting. Like, there's the dice you get in the store. There's nothing wrong with those. I have a set, right? And then there's the art dice. I have a set of those too. And those, like with the inclusions in them, or with like little fun bits of things. Oh, I mean, how could you not love them? Like, come on, people. I saw ones that were like kind of had a swamp witch vibe, and I'm like, I need those. Which is true, I do. Swamp witch needs swamp dice. Duh. So there's that. So there's that. I also heard that there's like a really big die that is like 100-sided. I need that too. Clearly. I had donuts and cake today. That was not a great idea. Okay, so we've made our hour, by the way. If you want to hang out more, that's cool, but you got to speak up now. If you don't, or you don't care, or you really just don't want to speak up, like you don't want to speak up so much that you're just fine with leaving the stream, that's fine too. I'm gonna eat snacks though, like for serious. That's what I'm gonna do. What is that there? I'm gonna eat snacks and read books. Book. Okay, so we managed to get through six rounds on camera. I think that's pretty good. I think this weird little pattern that's going on is strange. I think the other colorway I have of this yarn actually did something similar. It's kind of got this like Southwest pastel vibes now. Like I was thinking like Easter and like pastel, like springtime, like when I saw it, like, you know, in this form. And now it's got it, I don't know, it's got this Southwest feel to it. I don't know why. Anyway. Going once, going twice. Sold. Okay, so thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me and listening to me ramble and talk about weird shit and random things that I, you know, come up with. Anybody else who watched this or watches this later on demand on Twitch or on my YouTube playlist, thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, share, and come back for more project time. All right, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and good night, Raylings, and I will see y'all hopefully bright-eyed and bushy-tailed tomorrow. Toodles!